All right, you watched them go head-to-head in Thursday's Fox News debate, but this week we're going through each candidate in alphabetical order and breaking down the issues that count the most. Back with the next round of GOP hopefuls is Fox News legal analyst Peter Johnson Jr. and friends.
We're back with my friends. We're back with my animated presidential friends here. We're starting with Ted Cruz today, first-term senator from Texas, skilled orator, and Tea Party powerhouse. He was born in Canada and raised in the Lone Star State. He's the son of a Cuban immigrant who fled the country's 1959 revolution. He's tough on immigration. He opposes any effort that gives undocumented immigrants legal status. Now promising to repeal and replace it, Cruz once held a 21-hour filibuster to defund Obamacare, even taking heat from members of his own party for shutting down the government.
If you're looking for someone to go to Washington, to go along, to get along, to agree with the career politicians in both parties who get in bed with the lobbyists and special interests, then I ain't your guy. I will always tell the truth and do what I said I would do.
And he's proven to be a constant fighter against what he calls the Washington cartel that includes almost all the establishment Republicans. His challenge is to transform grassroots outrage at unresponsive government to mainstream electability. And next, the candidate who shatters glass ceilings, former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina. She went from a secretary to Forbes' most powerful woman in business as she became the first female CEO of a Fortune 20 company.
I think to be commander-in-chief in the 21st century requires someone who understands how the economy works, someone who understands how the world works and who's in it. Most importantly, I think I understand leadership, which sometimes requires a tough call and a tough time. But mostly, the highest calling of leadership is to challenge the status quo and unlock the potential of others.
And though she's never held public office, Carly was a campaign advisor for John McCain in 2008 and ran unsuccessfully for the U.S. Senate in 2010. She is pro-life and says she would shut down the government if necessary to defund Planned Parenthood. On immigration, she supports the DREAM Act, but opposes a direct path to citizenship for all illegals. Although opponents blame her for thousands of layoffs at HP, supporters point to a successful leadership record at that company. And finally today, a man who says he's never sent an email, but who's also never lost an election. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, the first of his family to go to college. Graham was met with tragedy at a young age after losing both of his parents within 2 years of one another. He then legally adopted his teenage sister. He spent over 3 decades in the Air Force, 6 as an attorney, and the remainder in the reserves until retiring this past June. He's one of the party's leading voices for strong national defense and foreign policy.
If you're running for president of the United States and you don't understand that we need more American ground forces in Iraq, and that America has to be part of a regional ground force that will go into Syria and destroy ISIL in Syria, then you're not ready to be commander-in-chief.
One issue where he breaks from most of his party is immigration. He supports a path to citizenship for illegal immigrants. He has also worked across the aisle on climate change, which he believes is man-made and a threat to our nation's economy. More tomorrow. The candidates on tomorrow's rundown, some of the governors, former and current: Jim Gilmore, Mike Huckabee, Bobby Jindal, and John Kasich. Back to you, my dear friends on the curvy couch.
All right, and Peter Johnson did his own version there. He was the real person. Everybody
Peter
else,
Johnson and friends.
It's unbelievable.